We still have a podcast. That's so exciting.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Hi, guys. Sorry I was absent in Bridget's absence. I was not ambitious. I've been dealing with life and kind of took the break, which was kind of nice for me, to be honest.
It was a nice break. It was a nice break. Yeah.
Yeah. Like a month long, like we had like a little summer vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just didn't have the time, and like 3 weeks of your honeymoon went by like a flash. And
3.5 weeks.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I just said 3 at work so that people would feel better about it.
Yeah, no, it was like, it's kind of crazy. Like, it just went by so quickly. So here we are.
Here we are. And we have a podcast for you guys today.
And we're filming in person with each other for the first time in like 6 months?
Yes,
7
it's
months?
been a long time. It's been a long time.
It's been a really long time.
Yeah.
And I forgot my notes. And I forgot my microphone stand. So, we're doing great.
But we're making it work. Make it work.
Yeah, we're making it work.
Yeah.
So, we'll see how this episode goes, because I don't have my notes. But it'll be fine.
I have notes-ish. Although, didn't you do how it's made today, Maddie?
I did. So, I have my notes for that.
Oh, you have your notes for that.
I always do that on the computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crisis
I
averted.
write my remember I do physical
with your
notes.
cute little
I do physical notes for the games, but yeah, the break, honestly, I kind of maybe want to do an on topic because I finished 2 games.
2 games?
Yes,
okay.
I finished Sea of Stars.
Oh, I haven't finished that one yet, but I'm okay with spoilers. I don't think I'll pick it up.
I fully finished it.
Yeah.
And I finished Superliminal.
Oh,
did you ever play that one?
I played the first bit of it, but I don't know. It's the puzzle one where things get big and really small. Right?
Yeah, it's like
okay.
Kind
No,
of
I did finish that one. Yes, no, I finished that one.
Okay.
I was mixing that one up with the one that's like white and red. It's called something else. I don't know.
Okay.
I mixed that one up, but no, this is the one with like the weird pink hallway in the cover art.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like the dream. It's like the dreamscape.
Yes, I did.
And then
finish
it's
that
about
one.
perspective.
But that was like a year ago.
Yeah.
So
So I finished 2 games, so I kind of wanted to talk about them a little bit. And
Okay.
I started LA Noire.
Oh.
Have you ever played that one?
I have played LA Noire. Yeah.
It's much more GTA than I thought it would be.
It is. It wasn't what I expected. It was still fun, but
it's fun. I was kind of surprised, and then I also started Ace Attorney.
Okay. No spoilers for Ace Attorney because I've only finished the first the first one in the trilogy.
I have just started it.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm on the 2nd chapter of the first.
I'm
game.
playing through all of them because I think they do like the detective-y-esque type of things, like the way that I was semi-imagining it for my game, and so I started playing them to learn a little bit about how they did it. I don't want to do everything exactly the same because where's the fun in that? But they're pretty good. I like them. Yeah.
They're interesting. So we'll have an on topic where we can talk about the games we've been playing a little bit.
I have some games that I've been playing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall we get started?
Yeah. I'm Bridget.
And I'm Maddie. Welcome to Baddy Breakdowns, where we hang out, have fun, and play games all the way to the end. Today, we're going to talk about Animal Well, which is something that we were supposed to do before Bridget left. Life got crazy. We weren't able to do it, so it's been like over a month since each of us has played this game, so bear with us, but we're going to do it. And we will give you the breakdown from its creation to its critical reception, and then we'll take you on a deep dive into the game as we share our own experiences and opinions while playing it. We'll close with if we recommend it, who we'd recommend it to, and last but not least, our personal rating. With that, let's try and remember this game we played over a month ago.
I was telling Maddie before we started recording today that my notes were literally the barest of bare bones. I had to take like an hour to rewrite them, remember what this game was, but I'm ready. I've got notes now.
Okay, great.
It's exciting.
At least one of us does.
Yikes.
Okay.
Okay.
Go for it. Game
Yeah.
description.
Game description. So first I'm going to read off the Steam one, and then I have a couple of like additional thoughts that I wanted to add for this. So Steam description: explore a dense, interconnected labyrinth and unravel its many secrets. Collect items to manipulate your environment in surprising and meaningful ways. Encounter beautiful and unsettling creatures as you attempt to survive what lurks in the dark. There is more than what you see.
Ooh.
I know. I actually like that description.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it captures like the world that they created and what you're actually doing, which is discovering secrets. The thing that I wanted to add on to it, which I thought was just a little interesting since you and I both like talking about game genres, is this is clearly like a Metroidvania. It's self-guided, very puzzle heavy with very minimal combat. But I keep seeing the word Metroidbrania pop up everywhere.
That's so fun though. I love that.
It's really interesting, and I haven't played Metroid and I haven't played Castlevania, so I can't say whether or not like puzzles were a core part of Metroid.
I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
I played Metroid. I played Metroid a little bit on Switch, like the newer ones,
and they had combat, right?
They have combat.
Yeah.
And it's puzzly, but not this puzzly.
Yeah. And so I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I love that. I kind of love that.
Yeah. And then the other thing that I'll add is when people were describing this game to me before I picked it up, they said it was a combination of Tunic and Outer Wilds.
Oh, God, awful.
I know. I'm so glad you said that. And in my final, like at the end when we do our recommendations, I'll speak more to it after we've talked about it more. I don't think that's correct. No. I think that in a very abstract way, you can weirdly squint and say, okay, maybe, but I don't think it's right, like at all.
I don't think that's right at all.
So I thought I'd throw it out there because I saw that everywhere.
That's like setting expectations.
Exactly.
So
totally
bad.
wrong. So
No.
bad. Yes, absolutely. No. So I thought I'd throw that out there too because I assume other people would have seen that if I saw it everywhere. So.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Well, okay.
I wouldn't describe it that way, but the other ways I would.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
I like Metroidbrania a lot.
I think
That's
Metroidbrania
really
is pretty cute. Yeah.
Okay. So, how it's made, this game was created by one person, Billy Basso.
Oh.
He did everything. He built the game engine. He did the game design.
Wait, engine from scratch?
From
Again? This guy, the Stardew Valley guy, why did they... Okay.
Yeah, wow. These single game devs, he has a master's in computer science. And he also, throughout his life, had a bunch of different hobbies. Like, he really liked film, and he did, like, some early YouTube sketch comedy stuff, which was interesting.
Did you watch any?
No, I didn't watch any.
Rest in peace.
And then he had, he always was building stuff and like tinkering, and then he got his master's in computer science, and so he really liked the idea of like tackling like the full end to end. And so, he did game engine, design, pixel art, and the music and the soundtrack.
Wow.
And he literally did everything.
It's always so impressive when people do that.
I know.
So many skills.
Yes.
So many skills.
Yeah. So he originally just wanted to build a really small pixel art game, like a 6-month long project where it was just going to be really contained, like 2 hours of gameplay, really like nice and succinct, and he was going to sell it for like a couple of bucks. And then as he started building the game, each year it got bigger and bigger.
I was going to say, that's not what this game is.
No. So he built it over 7 years.
Wow.
So over the course of 7 years, he just kept building on it. And there's 265 rooms that you can explore in the game. And his main goal as he started building it that he wanted to start doing, and why it kind of took him so long, is that he got this idea of the layers.
Yeah.
And he was like, I want layer 1 to be really broadly accessible. So anyone can pick it up and play this like first layer of the game. You beat it and you could put it down and feel happy with your experience.
Yeah.
And then there's the second layer of a bit of more in-depth puzzling for the people who are puzzle fans and actually want to go, kind of figure out the more intricate puzzles. And then the third layer are the puzzles that are so nebulous that it requires community effort and collaboration.
Yeah.
So there's like the 3 layers that gets like more and more intense. And he just really loved the idea of doing that. And so it took him 7 years to kind of build that world. And then the other thing that he mentioned when he was building it is that he really was attracted to the idea of the setting being kind of a place that is like nature in the real world, where it's like the animals and the nature were here first. And so that's kind of the feeling that you get, right? Like no one is no one is your enemy, but no one's really your friend.
Yeah.
And some animals are hostile and some are friendly, but it's not necessarily like enemy friend.
Yeah, it's just the environment.
It's just the environment.
Yeah.
And so he really liked that idea and started building it. And, that's kind of the game that ended up happening.
Yeah.
Over 7 years. And then when he got closer to release, he ended up getting a friend to help him bring the game to market and do the business side of it, because that was like a part that he was lacking.
Yeah.
So his friend Dan Adelman started joining, and one of the things that they started doing is they were thinking about how to bring the game to market is they needed to think of really creative ways to market the game, because they had no connections really, right? Like this was his first game.
Yeah.
And Dan had some experience on the business side, but like he wasn't running a company or whatever,
no
right?
big connections.
No huge connections. And so one of the fun things that they ended up doing is when they made a website that was a puzzle in and of itself to reveal the release date of the game.
That's so fun.
Yeah, so
That's
because the website was a puzzle to reveal the release date, that helped boost like the initial community, like the Discord community.
I
for
love
the game.
that. That's so cute.
Isn't that cute?
What a cute idea.
Yeah.
I love that.
I like it a lot too. And then they also started doing PlayStation blogs.
Oh.
Which was also interesting. Yeah.
That is
So, and then they did all of the
they did PAX because I saw them there.
Yeah, they did all of the so they did that. And then when they were kind of still early on into bringing the game into market, the YouTuber Donkey, have you heard of Donkey?
Yes, I have heard of Junkie, but I heard of it in relation to, I thought, internet drama, like a long time ago.
Interesting.
I can't remember. I honestly can't remember. I feel like people are very divided on Donkey. I could be wrong.
Okay, so his personality, I think, is maybe divisive, but he doesn't have any, like...
actual hardcore drama.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have any that I could find.
Oh, wait, this is the guy. Wasn't he the one who started, like, funding indie groups to start just building games? He's just using his money
Here
to...
we go.
Okay, yes.
I'm about to talk about this.
Yes, okay, that's this guy. Okay, yes, I do know.
Yeah, so I watched a couple of his YouTube videos. He is kind of like Colbert was for, like, Republicans.
Yeah.
He is like that for gamers. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's embodying a, like I watched his most recent video about the Elden Ring expansion, and he was like, yeah, if you're complaining about how this is too hard, you're just not good enough. And, like, you're just... So he's, like, playing into that role.
Yeah, I see.
It's not serious. Because at first I was like, is he being serious? And I scrolled down to the comments, and it was, like, very obvious that it's his, like, personality. And I watched a few more. So it's, like, a satire, like, play
TV
on
personality.
That.
Yeah. Okay.
So anyways... He's a huge YouTuber. He has 7.5 million subs.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. So he's made a ton of money.
We only have 7 million, so what do you know?
God. Someday. Maybe. Let's hope. He has a huge following, and once you get that following on YouTube, you're making bukus of money from your videos.
Definitely.
And he streams too, so I'm sure he has like just tons of money. And he was like, what can I do that helps benefit the gaming community with my money?
Mm-hmm.
And so him and his wife, Leah, created a new publishing company called Big Mode.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted their first game that they published to be... And the whole goal behind the Big Mode is that they want to fund and publish high-quality indie games.
Yeah.
Because he wants that to be the direction that the industry goes in general.
Yeah.
And he feels, like, really passionate about that. So he was looking around for the first game to publish for their new company.
Mm-hmm.
And Billy and Dan had already been starting on their marketing tactics. And so then, you know, they kind of got connected on Twitter. They started talking, and it felt like a really good fit because the three of them kind of filled in each other's weaknesses.
Interesting.
Because essentially, Billy did not know the business side and the marketing side. Dan knew the marketing side and like the publishing side, but didn't have the audience.
Yeah.
And then
he had the reach.
And then Dunkey had the reach, right?
Yeah.
So then it was, and he was, they had not published anything yet. Like, this is the first game that Big Mode has published.
Interesting.
And so Dan also was kind of helping with like the business side of it.
Yeah.
For Dunkey and his wife Leah.
Oh, that's
like a little bit. Like
yeah.
like it ended up being like a good mix
mutually
of skills.
beneficial.
Yeah. Because then Dunkey got to like really utilize like the reach that he had to help.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so it ended up being a perfect fit, and the game got released super successfully, and I think that leads us really nicely into critical reception.
That was a good How It's Made, Maddie.
Thank you.
I can't remember how I had read about Dunkey and his publishing business. I feel like it was probably on like our game dev at some point where people were talking about it. And I think the drama I'm remembering in my head was less of like actual drama and more people being like, well, any game that he publishes is now going to get a raving review on his like platform because he published them, right?
That's true, but like if you're looking for good games though, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's actually
and people
not
like trust
that...
your recommendation. Yeah.
Like if he's specifically like he's not just gonna be publishing any from what I was reading is
he's very particular.
The goal, and I'm saying he, but like him and his wife are doing it together, so I need to be fair to his wife. Like their goal is really like finding unique, like good indie games.
That's fun.
And I think that that's pretty realistic to say that like I'm only going to publish good games. Like, I don't know. Like, that feels not that hard to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm being conceited about, like, I feel like if I were to play, like, you know when a game is good.
I am curious, though, what he considers a good game versus a bad game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, would you consider a, like, Dream Daddy a good game or not? Like, well, you would. Would he? I'm just curious what his taste is.
That's true. That's true.
That's all.
Yeah.
But it's interesting.
From what it seems is they're looking to fund like a bunch of different projects.
Yeah.
Like I think the only things that they're looking to do is like fund like unique and like
small indie teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. And I would like to see more indie games because they are always so creative and fun and just different.
Yeah.
So I agree.
And I like what him and his wife are standing for, Leah, are standing for the industry in general of like, I want it to go this direction. Yeah. And so I'm going to use my money to help it.
Yeah. I like that direction. Yeah. That's nice.
Like, at least if you have a ton of money, you're like kind of doing something cool with it. Yeah. You know?
And since he's so invested in the gaming space. You know.
So I hope he doesn't fuck it up.
And with that, critical reception. Okay, so critical reception, 91% on Metacritic, 9 out of 10 on IGN, and 10 out of 10 on Steam. So obviously people are really digging this game. I don't remember relatively, and we need to write this down so we remember, like over time. I don't remember what feels like a lot of Steam reviews. This one had 11,000.
That's a lot.
It felt like a lot, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I couldn't remember if I had made that in my head, like just totally up.
No, that's a lot.
Okay. Yeah. Because some of the other ones we found were like 2,000.
Yeah. Like and then Bloody Hell, which got a pretty good amount of people playing it,
just a few hundred,
300, 400. Yeah.
So 11,000. So not like this itty bitty tiny amount. A lot of what I saw were just people absolutely loving it for how unique it was. A lot of people, and I do actually, now that you talk about like Dunkey saying, I really want like these little indie games to be the future. I wonder if that's some of the tone that I was getting inside of the reviews, because a lot of them were talking about like, this is what gaming should be, or like one of the quotes I had was, it's like video games if they were actually good. Like they were a lot about the uniqueness of the title and how this stood apart from a lot of the games that they had seen. I pulled one quote that I thought was really, really good, and I thought kind of represented a lot of what people were saying just in general in the comments, which is, this is now my favorite game of all time, and I do not say that lightly. The puzzles, the platforming, the map, the secrets, all so well done. You see my playtime up there. I think it was like 70 plus hours or something like that. It feels like I barely scratched the surface. Back into the well I go. Yeah. And that was kind of like reminiscent of what most of the tone I was getting, is that people love the secrets. They love spending time in it and sinking time in it. And they thought that it had a lot of different pieces that went together to make a really good, solid game. the other bit that I'd mentioned with all the positive pieces is that, to your point, and I'm happy that you talked about it because I was curious what the intentionality was with the developer with the different layers. It seemed like most of the people commenting were commenting based on layer 2 plus.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't see a lot of people say, like, oh, I stopped
put
here.
It down.
Yeah, I saw most
1.
people talking about things that seemed like layer 2 plus. So I'll say that. Now, there were some negative reviews, but again, not that many. When I looked at it, it really seemed like it was based on kind of your tolerance to the traversal of the map and the area and how much you felt motivated to continue to like search and find new secrets. So I'll read a couple of them, which is one, after the second ending, and even kind of the first ending of the game turns into you looking for a needle in a haystack, except you don't actually know what the needle is, or if it's even in the haystack to begin with. So a lot of like, what am I looking for? I don't even know if I should be looking for this. I'm confused. And then the other one that I'd mention was for people who have a lot of time and energy to invest, this is probably a god tier game just based on the sheer number of well-hidden puzzles. For me, I just can't take it, man. I don't want to walk the whole map a 10th time on the same speed of a game start. So I thought those were both interesting because
it's kind of about personal taste.
It is. It seemed very personal, and especially that second one where they're like, you know, actively, I think this could actually be like a really, really good game, like a god tier game. And to his credit, he's like, yeah, there are well-hidden puzzles there if you want them, but he just wasn't into it, right? Yeah. And so it didn't seem like there was anything objectively bad, you know what I mean, in the negative reviews.
Yeah.
So that's what I have for critical reception. It did seem really positive overall. People really liked it.
Totally.
I'm interested to see what we have to say about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you want to jump into first impressions?
Let's do it.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
Sure, I'll try. So, as I said at the top,
oh, right.
I forgot my notebook, and I'm at Bridget's house,
Okay.
I'm going to give it my best shot. I feel like I just remember the environment being really beautiful and really enjoying the art aspect of it, as well as the sound design, because it wasn't necessarily music, per se, if I'm remembering correctly. It was kind of like
atmospheric
nature sounds. Yeah. Which I really liked. It was more ambient, which was very cool. And I thought pretty creative, as well as just the art in general was very creative and very lively.
Yes.
I also loved the little bean.
Yeah, it was so cute. The little main character.
Yeah. Or whatever you want to call him. Yeah. I don't know what he is.
I don't
know.
Blob. Nobody knows.
Yeah. It's super cute. I really liked it. And I think just jumping in, I was pretty on board with it, even if I was maybe a little intimidated at first by it.
Did you know what to expect? Like, did you know what kind of game it was, or?
I don't think I did. I think I kind of had been reading, like, don't read anything about it, and it was just a Metroidvania.
Yeah.
So I thought it was nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I think the thing that I really enjoyed about the art right at the beginning was the way that they used light and like the glowiness.
It's really dynamic.
Really dynamic. So much movement. Art, I wrote down like little fireflies and the grass moves and like water splashes. And I don't know. I feel like everyone in their game should think about stuff like that to make things feel alive. And I'm sure that it's a ton of work. I mean, you said it takes them 7 years to build this, but it's also just one dude. Like, I don't know. All of the movement was just so alive. Oh, I said when we were talking about Rewinder. Again, in that, everything moved. It just feels so much better when it does that. I'll also say that I did play it at PAX. And at PAX that year, I loved the little like indie booth section. I spend a lot of my time there, and I try to play all the ones that seem even like partially interesting. So this one I had sat down to play, and it was one of the only ones during my PAX experience that I was kind of like disappointed the demo was over, and I really wanted to know more.
Sorry, he said disappointed the demo was over. I thought you were saying disappointed.
No, I was disappointed it was over because the way that they set it up is you pretty much just play that first little area in the game, which ends when you have like, you see a little bunny like there ready to like hop away. You go up and you see like this weird little sculpture thing and light again everywhere. It was very I don't know if they changed anything from the demo that I played to the actual release, but it felt the same.
Yeah.
And there were enough little peaks of all this stuff that I couldn't do and couldn't see, and the environment was so alluring that I was like, oh my god, I'm so mad that it was done. And so I will give it that, like, from that PAX experience, it was it like lures you in.
Yeah.
A little bit. And I loved that. So that would be my first impression is overall. I was really excited. I was ready to keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since I have notes and you don't, do you want me to explain, like, the first layer?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So like Maddie said, he built this in layers, and I feel like it's probably, I don't know how we want to talk about it, per layer or just mechanic-based or likes and dislikes.
I like per layer a little bit, and then we can do mechanics, and maybe we can just talk about, like, our favorite parts and our least favorite parts or whatever.
That sounds good. So in the first layer, it's just like a basic Metroidvania. I don't mean that in, like, a bad way. I just mean if you think of a Metroidvania, it's a Metroidvania.
You're unlocking new things to unlock new areas.
Yes, and find new secrets. The goal, pretty straightforward, was you needed to light 4 flames in the animal well.
Yeah.
And I don't remember how they relay that information to you.
And there was a secondary goal of collecting eggs.
Yes, you're right.
In the first layer.
Yes, yeah. You have, like, a pretty straightforward goal. But in order to get there, you, of course, have absolutely no direction. Mm-hmm. There is a map-ish, but it only lights up the area that you've seen, and the map itself is a pixel art, very pixely light, so it's not, like, a really detailed map.
No.
The mechanics, like the different items that you get, not necessarily mechanics, are all very unique, which is one of the things that I really enjoyed about it. Mm-hmm. But you are, like, grabbing new things, and those new things are more like there was a bubble wand, you can jump on bubbles and float away, a disc that you could ride on, which was cool, slinkies, which meant that you had a thing that could go down slopes and press buttons for you while you go do something else, and then a yo-yo, which could reach out and be able to grab things, or not grab things, but hit things that you couldn't hit. So there were, like, these different mechanics.
I feel like there's one more in layer 2, but I didn't find it. I had an empty spot in my inventory.
There's a lantern that you get, but you don't get that till the very end of round layer 1.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. Right. Yeah. And then
I remember that now.
I'm pretty sure everything else you can't get until layer 2, but I could be wrong in that. But I think you need the lamp in order to get it, but I could be wrong.
No.
But I'll say at least, like, in order to beat layer 1, you need the bubble wand, the disc, the slinky, and the yo-yo. Yeah. And then eventually the lantern. So, like, the main, like, the TLDR of that section is you light the 4 flames. There's a bunch of different ecosystems around the map. And then once you've lit the 4 flames, you fall down into this, like, deep, dark space. You beat the big baddie, and then you end up in, like, this little house.
Yeah, it's like your house.
Yeah, kind of. We assume that it's your house.
With
I don't know.
TV or something.
Yeah, with the TV and everything, but you end up in a little house. And that's, like, the end of layer 1. And so the first one is a pretty straightforward, quote-unquote, like, Metroidvania. Yeah. There's my overview. Thoughts, Maddie, on layer 1?
Layer 1 was fun. Mm-hmm. I liked it a lot. Agree. And I really liked the secondary egg goal. Mm-hmm. So throughout, you find little puzzles, and then you find these different eggs, which is kind of fun. They're named fun things like Galaxy Egg and Slime Egg or whatever. I'm making this up, but, like, those are, I think,
there's probably a Galaxy Egg.
Yeah, and it's really fun, and I also love, you kind of glossed over it, but I do love the different environments, like the biomes.
Yes, yeah,
because each biome has its own personality almost, and going and exploring the different biomes, I thought was really fun. Mm-hmm. I feel like I remember being quite frustrated at times with navigation. Yeah. But, I mean, that's kind of Metroidvania, which is the problem.
I was wondering how you'd feel, because this was like Get Lost the game, and you get lost in games where that's not the game. So I was kind of curious if that made it better or worse for you.
No, I think it was fine. Yeah, I think it was fine because, to your point, it was kind of Get Lost the game. Yeah. Like, it ended up not feeling super bad to, like, get lost, because then you'd run into something else.
Yeah, that's true.
For the most part.
Yeah.
And then there is a crucial piece of kind of navigating the map in a fast way, like, that you unlock, and I unlocked that kind of early.
Okay, wait. I assume you're talking about, like, the sewer system,
system
with the different animals. Mm-hmm. Did you actually think that made anything faster?
Well, it would Did you realize that with the little recorder, you could warp to it at any time?
No.
Oops.
Yeah. Wait, how did you figure that out?
It was the song that the frog was singing.
What frog?
Or whatever creature. So did you ever go down? You get to the place and it has all of the animals.
Yeah, all the animals with the little tubes, and you can go into the tubes and out of the tubes. Yeah,
Did you go down ever?
Yeah, I went
and
down.
There was another room, and it was like a little creature doing a song.
I don't remember that, but I know I went down because it had like the final tube.
And it was like pointing a direction. So do you remember with like the little flute, it would like point like
arrows?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like you could make it point directions.
Yeah.
The little frog was doing like a little dance and song, and I like copied the direction he was doing the dance to.
Oh, no, I never figured out that whole time.
And then you warp, and then that means that you can warp to there at any moment.
Okay, so that
like
would have been nice to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was, well, we'll get to it. But no, I didn't realize that, and so the only way for me to be able to traverse to different areas would be to make it to a central point that had one of those things that I could actually get into, and it was miserable.
Yeah, that is miserable.
Absolutely miserable. So yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there in the likes and the dislikes.
I think it was a frog. I could be misremembering the
I don't know.
creature,
It doesn't really matter. Yeah. A creature was singing. Yeah. Okay, well, that makes more sense how that could be actually faster. But no, I did not have that pleasure.
It was actually really nice, too, because if you were in, like, a bind and you were about to get killed, you could warp away.
Cool, yeah. Maddie. Cool. We'll get there in my likes and dislikes thing. Yeah. The other thing that I think would be fun to mention for layer 1 is that each of them had like a big baddie boss.
Yes.
And the only one that I remember really, really well was the dog one.
Oh my god, fuck that thing.
Because, oh my god, fuck that thing.
I hated that part of the game. I really actually genuinely did not enjoy that one.
Okay, so tell me, was that the last one? That you...
Yeah, it was the last one. Well, it was the first one I found. And it was the last one I finished.
Right, yes, that sounds
because I died a lot, and I was like, fuck this, I'm going to do everything else first.
But did you know what you were supposed to do, at least?
Yeah, well, you were supposed to get the disc or whatever from the frisbee.
So what I was...
I didn't figure the frisbee part out until I came back to it a second time.
Okay, all right, yeah. So that was the issue I had, was that I did it. I did that whole thing. I got to like the end, quote unquote, and I'm like, mother effer, what is this supposed to be? And then I was like, I have literally so much to do in this game, so maybe I don't have what I need. Because, you know, in Metroidvanias, you never know, right? Like, especially in an open environment where you can get almost anywhere. Mm-hmm. In this one, I was like, maybe I just don't have what I need. So I did everything else, and I got up to like 50 eggs before I went back to go do that stupid dog. And I finally figured it out. It was miserable trying to figure it out, but I did. Yeah, that's the one I remember the most. I really like the ostrich one. That one I really liked.
That one was super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like a few it's hard to talk about this game because the mechanics are just pretty straightforward.
They are. Yeah.
And so a lot of the game is just exploring these pixel art environments and kind of interacting with these animals. And I loved some of the pieces. I really loved the herons.
Yeah, they were
Those were really cool. Mm-hmm. I liked I haven't solved it yet, but I liked the cat puzzle area.
We'll talk about that.
And I really need to solve that puzzle. I haven't done it yet.
Well, I don't know if I can talk about it then. I had a whole soliloquy about the cat puzzle.
That's okay. Talk about it. It's okay.
Okay. We'll see.
Okay. Should we go into layer 2? Because now we're kind of in layer 2.
We can kind of go into layer 2. So the transition from layer 1 to layer 2, like I said, is you beat a big baddie, you end up in a house, and at this point you have access to quite a few more tools if you figure out the puzzles. So let me know if I missed any. I had the UV lamp, which was so freaking cool. Mm-hmm. The top, which like spins and breaks the ground. The ball, I still don't understand the purpose of the ball.
I never found the ball.
Probably a skill issue. Okay, well, the ball. You just like throw it. It like bounces around like a basketball kind of. Huh. And it like breaks things kind of, but I don't understand why it's any different than any of the other things that we have.
Okay.
But maybe I just haven't made it that far yet. And then the remote, which is really,
never
really
found the
handy.
remote.
Oh, you need to find the remote. It's very handy. It like turns, well, I won't say.
No, say it.
Well, it like toggles stuff. You know, there's like little red, I think it's red, like little antennas.
Oh, okay.
It like toggles the stuff that's controlled by those antennas. It makes it, that is actually the first thing that makes it slightly easier to traverse for me.
Yeah.
And then the hamster wheel, which I didn't find. I saw it in a YouTube video when I watched the final conclusion.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't watched that.
I watched the true ending of Layer 2 before this so that I could, like,
and
I have a little bit of it.
Is Layer 2 the eggs and the bunnies, or is it just the eggs?
No, it's just the eggs.
Okay, bunnies is Layer 3?
Bunnies is Layer 3.
Okay.
As well as, like, the group puzzles with, like, the online
the
stuff.
Community puzzles.
Yeah. And so those are, like, the game is exactly the same. Literally nothing about the game changes.
Yeah.
You are in the same place. You are finding eggs just like you were before. It's just that you have these new tools now. And the one that's probably the most helpful is the UV lamp, because it shows new stuff on the walls.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like whole new layers of the actual environment itself. But at the end of the day, it's the same map. Like the exact same.
So I'm on Layer 2.
Yes, I am on Layer 2. I think I'm on
at the beginning
like
of Layer 2, I would say.
How many eggs do you have?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I should have looked.
I think there's 60 eggs.
Okay.
I have 55
I think I'm like
eggs.
40.
Okay.
Yeah.
The last 15, yes. The last 15 have been an absolute pain in my rear end.
Yeah.
They've been really hard, and I haven't looked anything up for them.
Yeah, I think I'll go back to it eventually, but I haven't picked it up in a while.
Yeah. Well, we took a month off.
Yeah.
So if you're at the beginning of Layer 2, how are you feeling? Because it sounds like you found the UV lamp and the top, and those are the two main ones you found?
Those are the only two. Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. I have this, like, grudge against that cat puzzle. Like, I really need to figure it out, and I don't know if I have things figured out.
Okay, before I go into my soliloquy then, I don't know if that's actually the right vocabulary term for this, but it doesn't matter. Can you tell me what you've done for the cat puzzle so far? We're going to do Bridget Does Game Control, which is our puzzle word for GCing, helping somebody out solve it. I'm not actually going to help you solve it. I just want to know, what have you done so far?
Okay, so I figured out that you have to play a song to get the thing to release the cat.
How'd you figure that out?
Because there was arrows in a different room. Okay. And then I played a song in the direction of the arrows, and it worked.
What did it do? What do you mean by it worked?
It unlocked the cage.
When you played it in the room with the cats?
Yeah, in the room with the cats.
What made you want to go back to the room with the cats?
Because I wanted to go rescue them, and I saw the arrows, and I was like, this has to do something. So I went back to the things, and I played the song in the directions. Because usually when I saw arrows, it was a hint at a recorder situation. Like a flute situation. Yeah. And so... you were desperate for flute situations inside this cat room. Is that what it was? No, it was just that it was only a few rooms away from the cats that I thought, if I'm going to try this song, I should try it with, like, something just kind of...
What made you think you could unlock the cats?
What do you mean?
Because
they're in cages.
Well, yeah, but this is a whole weird-ass world. What made you think you could open the cages?
Just because they were trapped.
So you just hoped that you could open the cages.
Yeah.
That's so sweet, Maddie.
They were trapped.
That's
and I was like, this has got to be something. No, but they were trapped. Like, it had to be something. I knew it had to be something.
So you didn't draw any of these conclusions after finding the other room with all the cats? You haven't found the other room with all the cats?
I don't know. Okay. I have a room full of cats.
Not the ones in cages. Not the ones in cages.
There's a room full of cats without cages?
Ish, yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't found that room yet.
Okay, all right, interesting. This was very helpful for me and my soliloquy in the future. Okay, I'm just gonna no.
Just do it. Do it.
Okay, so this I guess will be my Bridget's problems with Layer 2 is what this section is about to become.
I love it.
I apologize in advance for the people who really love Layer 2 Plus. And like I said, it's just opinions. I loved Layer 1, so I just want to get that out of the way. Layer 2, to me, had these two problems. And the reason I'm asking you so much about the cats is because this was actually my example puzzle for the problem that I had with this, like, section. We have this concept in the puzzle designs that we do, and for our listeners, when I make puzzles, my puzzles are not usually video game puzzles. I've made a couple of video game puzzles when we had pandemic year, but the majority of puzzles I make are like these like physical puzzles, like installation-esque things. So, caveat, we have this thing called unclued anagrams, which are like the cardinal sin of puzzle making, which is exactly what it sounds like. You get all the way to the end of the puzzle, you've done all these steps correctly, and you get like blal, and you're like, B-L-A-L, what is blal? And you just assume that you've done something wrong. You have the wrong word, you're missing a letter, you've gotten the wrong letter somewhere. And it turns out that the answer was ball, and you had to scramble it. You just had to guess that you had to scramble it because the theme of the puzzle was sports. So it makes sense that it was ball. But really, you had no idea that you were supposed to scramble it. And so you're in this spot where you've done everything perfectly correctly, and then you have to scramble it at the end, but the like step that you're in is impossible to understand that that's what you're supposed to do. And it's like this cardinal sin. We make fun of it all the time when people do it. So, I include anagrams. The reason that I wanted to talk about it in relation to this game is because I feel like layer 2
is just
unclued anagrams everywhere. And obviously there's no real anagrams, and there are clues in some scenarios.
Yeah.
But the like vibe of that happening is everywhere in layer 2. It is having all these pieces of information and having no way to validate that you're doing it correctly on the right path, and not having clues to making sure you're on the right path. And so, like, the cat puzzle, the reason that I had kind of brought it up in relation to this is because you had to make all of these, like, unclued connections. Like, that's why I was asking you why. Like, why did you do that? Why? And the answer is you guessed. You didn't know what you were doing. And you're like, well, it's kind of close to that room. Well, maybe I use a flute here. Why do I open the cages? I don't know, because I want to. That's literally the answers that you gave me.
Yeah.
And when I was hoping that I would be wrong, and you'd be like, well, Bridget, in the cat room, there was a thing with music notes, and I realized that I had to use my flute. And then I went to this arrow thing, and there was a UV light face of a cat. And so then I knew it was related to the cats. And then, like, that's what I was hoping, and I just missed it. And the answer was no. You were just guessing, trying to make your way
That's true.
to solve these cats. And the reason that I have such, like, a dislike for this isn't necessarily that, like, if the game was just this, and I knew that, and like Tunic did this too, like Tunic did it a ton as well. It's hard when you have these constant logical inorganic leaps that you have to keep making, and the traversal of the environment is so hard that making those leaps requires a lot of checking and going back to the same places or running around. Like, you haven't solved that puzzle yet, but you've done everything you need to solve it. You just have to find the other arrows.
Yeah.
But it's because you made that connection really early on.
Yeah.
And just like, yeah, okay, maybe this is what it is. But you still haven't even found all the other arrows for it. And, like, when you made those leaps, you didn't have actual clues hinting you to those leaps. Like, the best is the arrows, meaning the flute, which I think is consistently used across the game. But that almost makes it worse, because that means whenever you see arrows, it doesn't necessarily mean you go back to the cat room, because at that point, like, maybe it's actually a transport thing. You need to be standing in front of something in order to transport you to a different room because you figured out that the arrows mean transport. Or maybe it's like, there's other things that the arrows do, right? Like, they beat a big boss at some point. Like, oh, okay, yeah, great. Like, the thing that I was running into is that you have this whole game full of secrets and puzzles everywhere, and how you connect these things together is just nebulous, pure happenstance.
Yeah.
And to me, that's not good puzzle design. Now, I don't think that he did this for all of the puzzles. I think some of the puzzles are clued pretty interestingly. I have other puzzles that had clues but were missing key clues, or they were clued in the wrong order. So, like, the kangaroo clues, which I don't know if have you done all the kangaroo stuff yet?
Maybe.
Are you okay if I spoil the kangaroo stuff? So, with the UV light, you can see which rooms the kangaroos are in, right?
Yeah.
You have to use firecrackers on the kangaroos in order to get their pieces. The way that you figure out to use firecrackers is the pieces that you get create one of those little, like, badges or discs. And in front of the podium with the badge or disc that you will eventually get for the kangaroo, there are plants of fireworks, which don't make any sense because you can't use fireworks around there. Those fireworks are supposed to connect you to, in order to get this disc, you need to use fireworks. The problem is, you don't know which disc you're supposed to be filling out, and you can't get any disc pieces to understand that disc is the disc that goes there until you use the fireworks on the kangaroos. So it's like there were a bunch of different pieces here that were just, they felt like close, but like they didn't have a puzzle design that I had looked for. And I think if I would have just had that problem, I would have been okay. But that laddered on top of the traversal, which I didn't really talk about. But like all of the mechanic pieces that we got, usually in Metroidvanias, those are to help traverse the environment better. None of them help traverse the environment better except for maybe Bubbles.
Bubble Wand,
Bubble Wands, they're all just to uncover more secrets.
Kind of, because you could write it.
Kind of, but it didn't really help you traverse. It helped you like find secrets.
Yeah.
And so without like the tunnels, the pipe things, which I apparently missed, so maybe that's not actually that bad. I missed it though, so it was bad for me.
I mean, even with it, it's what, 6?
Yeah, and the map is so
pretty big.
huge. And like without the remote, which you don't have yet, there's some places you can only traverse in one direction. You can't even traverse in the opposite direction. And so it feels like from the beginning of the game to the end of the game, I'm traversing the map at pretty much the exact same speed, even though I've been there a million times.
Over and over again.
Over and over and over again. And if I have to go over and over and over again to try and find my 5 sets of arrows for the little freedom kitties, I didn't even know those arrows went with the kitties, then like I'm going to get frustrated. And so to me, it was like 2 things that went together in a way that made it really frustrating for me. And I think if traversal would have been really easy, like transport me to anywhere on the map, like play me a song, open the map, click where, I would have been happy. Nice. I'd have been so happy. And I probably would have continued playing up to get all the eggs and trying to solve hard puzzles like that. I would have felt more satisfied because I could zoom everywhere.
You could zoom in and out.
And then it wouldn't matter if I messed up. I would try more creative things because I'd go to the arrows and then I'd come back to the cats and then I would try it. But I didn't want to do that because it's so hard to traverse in between them. So anyway, there's my spiel.
No, I think that's super fair.
About layer 2. And I know that people seem to really, really enjoy it. And maybe I just am not the kind of person that combination was made for, because I felt tedious to me.
Well, the traversal was tedious in ways. That was my least favorite part of the dog one, was having to go back through the map while something is chasing you, and if you mess up once, you have to start all over. Like, it just drove me cuckoo. And as someone who is not very good at platforming, I think it made it extra hard.
Yeah, and the platforming's kind of hard.
And the platforming at times was kind of hard. Like, I think that it's the same frustration that I had with Outer Wilds, which is like...
So it is like Outer Wilds.
They're so different. But, like, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I do think there's something to, like... There's pieces of Outer Wilds that were just so dang hard to navigate that it felt really frustrating. And that's kind of how this felt for me, too.
Yeah.
Whereas I think there's, like, a certain kind of person that isn't bothered by that. I think, for me, it just isn't fun for me.
Yeah. A different motivation.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think for me, it's when messing up means I have to, like, sink another 15 minutes into something.
Yeah.
That's what gets me.
Yeah.
Is like when you because then it's like not respecting my time.
Yes, that's what I wrote. Not respecting my time.
And I think that was my biggest issue with both Outer Wilds and this game. Is like and I think there is like some get good pieces of that, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, well, if you were better at platforming, you wouldn't have such an issue. But like but I don't think games should be hard to be hard.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's me personally, right? Like Cuphead, I'll give an example. Cuphead broke my heart because it's like the coolest art. It reminded me of the cartoons that I used to watch with my grandparents, right? Like those old MGM cartoons. Like I loved the art. And when I played it, I literally couldn't beat the first fucking level.
Yeah.
And so I had to watch it, which is fine. Like, I watched Markiplier play it and had, like, a satisfying-ish experience. But it could have been cool if, like, I was able to play it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's why I gave Death's Door up the first time. Because they did that mechanic where you die and you go back a bajillion paces.
Yeah.
And I was like, I literally just did this. I don't need to do it again. It was not that satisfying to do it twice. And then, you know, you die to a boss and you start over.
Yeah.
And I think on Tunic, I ended up turning myself, like, invisible.
See, I love how Tunic has the accessibility settings, though. See, that's the key, is, like, I want games to build themselves No. I want creators to build their games with those types of settings, like if they can, because I think that it just allows people to play it in a way that's fun for them.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. I mean, I'll never be like a Dark Souls or an Elden Ring person for the reasons stated here. And
Elden
also
Ring
is
going to be
hard.
easier. I could not play Dark Souls. Elden Ring, there's like some quote unquote hacks. Like if you can like build a really powerful character like pretty early that like helps a lot. Yeah. Like I made it farther in Elden Ring than I thought I would.
I mean,
but I had to look up a guide.
I never even beat the tutorial boss of Dark Souls 3.
No, I didn't either.
Yeah, I think I played it like 6 hours. Like, that is not a joke. Have not finished it.
No.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I think this game it wasn't even really like a hard, quote-unquote, game to traverse. No. It just took a long time.
Yeah.
You had to be thoughtful when you traversed it.
Yeah.
The map actually got harder to traverse. They started having like these spiky things you die to, and until you got the lantern, it was actually really hard to traverse through areas. Overall, I thought the traversal was just a little too tedious.
Yeah.
When the whole game was exploring and finding secrets. And maybe that's because I'm not self-motivated enough.
Yeah.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Anyway, that was my spiel. I'm sorry if you liked Layer 2, and I don't...
No, I think there's fun parts of it, right? Yeah. Like, I think I'll go back to it. Like, there's nothing that's, like, a sour taste. Like, I'm not, like, I didn't rage quit.
Yeah.
I just was like...
Yeah.
I'm going to come back to this later because I don't have time for this right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just got too time intensive. I think that was what it was for me.
Yeah. I mean, when I put it down, it was right before my honeymoon, so I was going to put it down regardless. But when I did put it down, like I said, I was on like 55 eggs. I was
almost there.
Close to all the eggs. But I was to a point where I had no hints of where my next ones were. I had exhausted and solved all the puzzles for where those eggs were, some of which were really fun. So I don't even mean to say that like they didn't have fun puzzles in this game. They did.
Do. Yeah.
They definitely do. But it got to the point where I was like, oh my god, the only thing I can do is to go to every single room with like the little tools I have and see like every single room, throw my ball, throw my top,
256,
throw my like whatever, like turn on my radio, turn on the UV light, turn on the like I was gonna have to spend like 5 minutes in every single room doing every single thing possibly you can imagine for all those rooms, and I did not have it in me. Like, to the point of that review from earlier, I didn't have it in me.
Okay, here, let me also say the second piece that is really hard, because you don't actually know which eggs you've collected unless you remember them.
Yes.
So it's really hard to find guides online about what eggs you're missing, because there is no catalog of the eggs that you have found.
No.
So I will give you that I think that actually is probably like the most inaccessible piece of it. And I actually weirdly had been writing down all the eggs that I found.
Oh, that's nice. Why were you doing that?
I don't know. So it ended up working out in my favor when I realized that they were not doing that for me.
Wow.
And I was like, thank God I've been writing these names down, because I didn't know what other notes to take. Wow. When I was playing this game, I literally didn't know what other notes to take, so I just started taking notes about the eggs that I found.
That's why my notes are so bare, because I was just like, I'm just playing a game right now. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. So, but like, if you didn't know to do that, like, you kind of be fucked with guides, because like, you don't even know the last 5 eggs that you need to.
No,
like,
I don't.
You don't know the ones that you found.
And I don't know how to search for them. I have to go through a whole guide, and then I'd have to like.
And you have to remember. Yeah. And maybe one's gonna jog your memory, and like, you could probably figure it out that
way. Probably
but...
not. And like, what the publisher or developer needs on their website is like a interactive view of the egg stand, where you can highlight over an egg and click on one and then go to how to get it. That's what they need.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I totally get that, because at some point when I had put it down, I was to the point of needing to look stuff up. But luckily Chris was like probably a day of gameplay ahead of me, so I'd been able to use him. But now we're both the same like number of eggs, and so something's got to give. And I wasn't sure what to even start with.
Yeah.
And so then I just didn't.
And you didn't.
Yeah, but also, like, I don't like being forced to use guides to find stuff. So I just watched the ending online. Are you curious what the ending to Layer 2 is? I mean, I watched it. It looked really hard. Kind of interesting to get people to it, but you eventually just escape the well. Like, the weird, glowy, black cat creature thing, like eats you, and then you fly into the sky.
You die.
And out of the well, and then you get dropped on the ground, and you're like above the ground because you can see all the stars.
Oh.
And then if you remember in the house, the weird donut, donut that whoosh,
yeah.
whoosh, there's another donut up there, and you can go back and forth between the above ground and the below ground.
So there's a whole world above?
I don't know what the world looks like, but I did watch that guy or whoever it was on their Let's Play like go back and forth and then ride the cat more in the above ground and then like start platforming up there. So I don't know what's above ground, but there's more.
There's more.
So maybe that's like the layer 3, right?
Yeah.
Is that there's literally another layer.
A whole ass. Yeah.
Yeah, but
okay.
I don't know a lot about layer 3.
Okay.
Other than the fact that there's literally one one puzzle you cannot solve without everybody, like 50 other people. And that's all I know. It's because you only get a piece. There's a puzzle where you only get one piece of the puzzle.
You have to have everybody else. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, wrap-up thoughts?
Wrap-up thoughts. You go first.
I liked it. I thought it was good. Like I said, I put it down because I got to a point where I was like kind of more tedious to your point. It wasn't rage quit, but it was like, I'm going to come back to this later.
Mm-hmm.
And I did really like the experience up until then, and there were moments where you feel really proud of yourself for like solving certain things, and I love that feeling. I kind of got addicted to it recently with like puzzles.
With all the puzzle games we played?
Yes! It's been really fun.
Have I turned you into a puzzler?
I really liked Botany Manor and Rewinder. Like, I just loved that duo, and so I've been kind of trying to find other puzzle games to play, and that's kind of what led me to our on-topic game. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was good. I think it's not my favorite game of all time, but or even I think I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 beans or blobs. I don't know what your character is, but I love it, and it's good.
Good. I'm glad. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's so beautiful. Like, I think the thing that's pushing me from
it is
3,
beautiful.
like, I feel like I maybe had a 3 out of 5 experience, but like, I loved the environment design and the world building. Yeah. So I think that just kind of pushed it up to 4 out of 5 for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I would say if I looked only at layer 1, then I had a very satisfying time. There were still pieces I was frustrated with, but it was very satisfying. Yeah. And to your point, it's just so beautiful and so alive, and the like concept that he's created for this game is just cool. Like, it's just cool. I don't know how else to describe it other than it's just really cool. Everything glows. Yeah. And it's both creepy but also comforting. Yeah. I just don't know how he did it, but I like it a lot. Layer 2 was when I started feeling really meh about things and tired. And I don't think that means that other people wouldn't enjoy it. It just wasn't for me. Yeah. My recommendation would be I'd recommend this to people who really like secrets and are willing to do anything to prove that they are clever. Like, literally anything. Like, this isn't a game for people who love puzzles as much as they love secrets, games that build in secrets, things to uncover and find and explore. And it is not tedious to them to keep looking and finding and discovering those. Because if you like that, you will love this game. Yeah. Like, this is what this is built for, and it would be fun. Like, a little archaeologist in this little game, and you're just trying to find secrets the whole time. You'll love it. What I would not recommend this to is people who love Tunic and Outer Wilds and think that this game is going to mimic that experience at all.
Yeah, that was my problem with that comparison, is that those are both, I also wouldn't necessarily compare the two of those either. They're all so different.
They're so different, and the way that I try to really think about why someone would possibly give me this recommendation. And what I came up with is Tunic has a second half of the game that isn't expected.
Layer 2.
It has a layer 2, and that layer 2 is puzzles, and those puzzles are almost entirely unclued for you to realize that puzzles are happening until you get there. I did love that, and I did finish Tunic. It was amazing. So if you really like the secret puzzles part of Tunic, you liked being surprised by the second layer and having even more game after your first game, you can kind of get that after this. But the actual gameplay, totally different. Outer Wilds, the only connection that I could come up with is if you're self-motivated, to explore with no direction. But again, the gameplay, totally different. Experience, totally different. But if you have those two qualities as a person, and you want a totally different game that has some of those qualities, then I can see that comparison maybe. If I squint really hard.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. But if you said, I love Outer Wilds, give me a game like Outer Wilds, no. That's not what this game is.
Yeah. I don't know what game I would say for that.
I don't know that there's another game exactly like Outer Wilds.
Yeah.
I don't know. I did read some forums after we had played Outer Wilds to try to find ones, and I feel like some people had a couple comparisons, but they didn't seem,
I feel like for me, the Outer Wilds, like, when I want to find another game like Outer Wilds, I kind of want something that's, like, existential like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not necessarily looking for
that gameplay
again, but, like, similar commentary on, like, living and, like, being. I don't know.
Maddie has a really serious look on her face.
I don't know. No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. It looks like you're contemplating life right now.
No, I just feel like that's what I would go for with
I agree with you.
Versus anything having to do with gameplay necessarily.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, anyways.
So my rating is going to be a 3 out of 5. Okay. I said 4 out of 5 for layer 1 and 2.5 for layer whatever.
Okay, so we landed
it's a 3
kind of
5.
pretty similarly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we do our on topic?
On topic. I've got so many little sounds today.
What is that? What did you just do a jingle? What's the original thing?
Banana.
Hot topic.
No, not hot topic. I feel like that scene in The Office when they're trying
to do... Hot Pocket! It's Hot Pocket! You just did the Hot Pocket jingle.
Hot Pocket. Is it?
Yeah. That's how I thought of Hot Topic. I was like, that feels right.
This episode brought to you by Hot Pockets, Bridget's dinner when she's really fucking tired. Is it lava on the inside or ice? You'll never know.
They owe us money now. Okay. Let's get into it. So, while you were gone, I played 2 games, and I finished them. And I want to talk to you about them because they're really good.
Yeah.
I liked both
Tell
of
me
them.
about your games.
So, I played Sea of Stars, which is a pixel art JRPG. It's on Game Pass. And I played Superliminal, which is a puzzle, like a 3D puzzle, spatial puzzle game, also on Game Pass. So I'm not trying to promote Game Pass. It's just that I get to play those games for free, and I wanted to play some free games, and those were ones that were on my backlog that I had been meaning to get to for a while and just hadn't had the time. And Sea of Stars, like, really delighted me.
Ooh, okay.
And I think that if we would have played it for the podcast, it would not have delighted me because of the time constraint.
Oh.
Versus, so it took me about 40 hours to, like, fully complete. So I did, like,
I think I'm only, like, 15 hours in, so that's, okay.
I did near 100% completion. Like, there's a Wheels game going on.
Yeah.
There's side quests. I did all of those.
Wow.
I did all of the side quests. I did the true ending. So there's 2 endings. There's the first ending, and then you can do a bunch of side quests and stuff, and you get the true ending. So I did that. So it took me about 40 hours. And I think that if we had done that for the podcast, it would not have been leisurely.
Yeah.
And I really liked being able to, like, leisurely play that over the course of the last, like, 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
It was just really delightful. The environment was really good. The gameplay, I thought, was pretty good. There were some criticisms that I saw online about it being maybe a little bit repetitive, but for some reason it didn't bother me.
Yeah.
And
JRPGs in general usually get a little repetitive.
They usually do with the combat, especially. And it was kind of, but the story carried it through for me. And it didn't bother me as much as I thought it maybe would.
Can you remind me? So I played this over Christmas because I remember giving the sidekick in that one my favorite sidekick.
Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, Girl's great.
So cute. I was afraid they were going to make him the evil villain, like as a plot twist, and they didn't. And I was so happy about it. Can you remind me if there is a system in that game, like other JRPGs, where you can't do certain areas until your party levels up enough, or did they have that mechanic? They didn't. Okay,
no. Right. But you do have certain, like, it's kind of linear to a point, and then you unlock a ship that that makes it less linear.
Okay, I don't think I got that far.
And then you unlock something that makes it even less linear because so like essentially they have you on rails for most of it.
Yeah.
And then you get a little bit of freedom to explore with like the ship navigation on the waters. And then at the very end, they can fly.
Oh.
So when they can fly, then you can actually go do, and that's what makes it super not, again, this is like respecting your time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end, to get the true ending, you have to go find all of the treasure chests.
Yeah, but you had to fly there.
So you get to
Thank
fly
you. Yes, that's
to
what
the
I want to
areas
see.
of the map.
That's what I want to see. Yeah.
You get to, but you don't fly in the map, do you know what I mean? But you fly to get to the place.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then you land, and then you do have to like still figure out, okay, where's the treasure chest here?
Yeah.
And like traverse in a normal way, but then to get to that spot, it is like better. Yeah. So that's what I liked about it. And I just liked the story. Like it ended up just being a really good story that I wasn't expecting, and I've been like on an anime kick right now, so it kind of just is
not
going...
Maddie all the time?
No, like I go in waves of like getting into certain shows, and then those end, and then I wait. So like I had a period where I was really into Jujutsu Kaisen, and then that show ended, and then more recently I started Demon Slayer with DK, and it's very good. And he's watched it before, but so he's doing a rewatch, and he was like, I actually really think you'd like this one. And so I've kind of just been on an anime kick, and this game just pairs so well with like watching animes because it's kind of like a playable anime.
Yeah.
And it's very good. So I just recommend it if that sounds interesting to people. Like if you like that type of game or you like anime and you're wanting to play, it's honestly like not super hard. Mm-hmm. There's battles that are challenging, but I think I died a total of 10 times, which over 40 hours
that's not bad at all. That's absolutely nothing. Yeah.
No. Yeah. So I think that it was a good... That might not be challenging enough for some people, but for me it was good. Yeah. And I was kind of playing it, so my dog has been waking me up at 6 to 6:30 a.m. every morning lately, and so I've been playing it in the mornings because I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking log on to work at 6:30 a.m. That sucks. Yeah. Everybody logs on at 9 a.m. So I've been playing it for these like little like 1.5 hour chunks every morning. Yeah. Yes, it's just been nice. It's been like a really nice game to just keep revisiting. So there's my long-ish spiel on Sea of
I'm going to have to pick it back up again then. I didn't stop it because I didn't like it. I just stopped it because wedding and I got busy. Yeah. And I think then we had like March Madness. Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't think that I kept it going, but I'll have to pick it up again then. I was really enjoying it before I left. I'm not usually a big JRPG fan because of the repetitiveness of the combat, but it felt a little fresher. I remember not feeling that when I was playing it. So
they have these things, and then they have like a mini game in it called Wheels. Yeah. And I think that's what it's called. Somebody's probably going to be like, that's not exactly what it's called. But I loved that. Yeah. It's like right up my alley. And I wish it got more challenging.
The thing stood up? Yes. You had the two things on the side and they stood up?
Yeah, it's like a strategy game, and it's like a strategy tower defense type game.
It was a whole ass game.
It's a whole ass game in a game, and I loved it. And it was so good, and I just love when games do that, like have little mini games in them, and it was just very well thought out, and there was like a whole side quest related to beating all of the champions of that game.
I went to a talk in GDC about mini games within games like that, and it was really interesting to hear them talk about it, because one of the things they talked a lot about was using mini games to world build and make things like give a break from gameplay that might be repetitive, and so this actually feels like it did both of those things pretty well.
Yeah, every city had like a Wheels champion that you could like challenge. Yeah. And so it was really fun, and then you get to the final like challenger, which is the person who invented the game. And then you beat them.
That's
and then
so fun.
And they don't even give you like an insane prize. They give you like a little trophy. Like it's not even like it's not. That's what was like, really nice. It was super optional. I guess that's what I loved about it, is that it's like, if it wasn't your thing, it's okay. But if it is your thing, it's really fun. You know?
Yeah.
So.
Okay, and then
All right.
you also played
I also
Superliminal.
played Superliminal, but do you want to tell us what you've been playing and we can, like, switch off?
Sure. So I have been on a kick for, like, factory-esque management games is what I've been doing. And, Steam sale, the summer Steam sale just existed. And so I played a couple of factory games off of that, and the one that I most recently played was The Wandering Village. I finally got around to playing, which is still in early access. That might also be on Game Pass. I think it is, but I wanted it on my computer for the type of game that it was.
PC Game Pass.
Is it on PC Game Pass?
Maybe.
I don't know. Well, anyway, I got it for very cheap. Because it was on Steam.
That's
and fair. I get the way that game worked was like you have this moving animal, which if you've watched Doctor Who, it's like that episode of Doctor Who where they decided just to build a city on top of an animal because it floats through space, and that's pretty much what this is. It's just an animal that walks through this land who's been poisoned, so they can't live on the ground, so they live on top of this animal. And it's a game where you like build villages and you have like farming, and you are trying to like, worker management all of these people and build up your village as much as you can and survive as long as you can, because you're also trying to keep the giant thing that you're on surviving also. And so it's kind of like a fun little mix of like this management game that was also like you were supposed to be doing it in these like runs to see like how far you could get. I think I made it to like day 100 my first time, or a little bit over day 100. But I don't know, it's been really delightful and really fun, and I think they're still adding stuff because it's early access. But I've been loving that one a lot. And then, of course, Deathloop. But I won't talk about Deathloop.
Because you might do an episode.
Because we might do an episode, and if not, we can talk about Deathloop later.
Yeah.
But I have many thoughts about Deathloop in general, so maybe we'll get there.
I haven't. That one's on my backlog, too.
It is a very...
Should I move it to the top of my backlog?
Chris would say yes. I would say yes with an asterisk. And my asterisk is, once again, with respecting your time. Because it's a time loop game. And so you do a lot of the same things over and over again. But it was a really delightful like world that they created. And the premise of it was really fun.
Yeah.
And so I still enjoyed my time. I don't know. That's why there needs to be an episode on it. We'll find out.
Yeah.
But those are really the only ones. And then I just played like a shit ton of Civ because I was traveling in Rome, right?
That's
all
fun.
Through the Mediterranean.
Yeah.
And it was so fun because I would be like traveling these places with like these Roman, like historical architecture or whatever. Yeah. And I'd be like, I just want to play Civ right now. Or they'd be talking about like how they conquered, and then like, did you know, I didn't know this, maybe I should have, but there was a ton of Egyptian culture in Italy because they're so close. And when Rome was being built up, the Egyptians were the most culturally prevalent at the time.
Yeah.
And so the Roman people actually copied a lot of what Egypt was doing at the time. And so there's actually like Sphinx artworks and different inscriptions that were like in Egyptian. It was just so cool that I didn't know. And then I was just thinking about like all the cultures mixing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, looks like somebody won a culture victory. I don't know. I was just being the weirdest person I could possibly be. But it made me want to play Civ so freaking bad. So on the cruise ship, I think like half of my days I was just playing Civ by the pool. It was really delightful.
I love that.
Yeah, delightful.
That sounds so nice and relaxing.
Yeah, it was nice. But
hey.
Subliminal. Superliminal.
Yeah.
Superliminal.
Okay, so the second game that I finished recently is Superliminal, and it took me longer than most people. I mean, that's just kind of standard for me. I think it took me like 4 to 5 hours to finish because it's a puzzle game. So I think like online guides are like, oh yeah, you can beat this in an hour. Like technically, if you know exactly what to do, you can beat it in an hour.
I don't think that game took an hour.
You know what I mean?
Longer than that. Yeah.
No, but like if you go to like a no commentary guide, it's an hour
and then
long
just click
video.
through the stuff. Yeah.
But like if you know exactly what to do, it's going to take you about an hour.
Yeah.
But like part of the fun is like figuring out what to do, and that's going to take longer. So I think this took me 4 hours, and it's just this really fun game. And essentially the setup is you are in a lucid dream and in its treatment, and you're like getting like some sort of like psychological treatment because the person that's talking to you is a doctor, like a psychologist. And he keeps talking about how you want to change your perspective, and you're here because you want to change your perspective. And so you're kind of going through these little levels, and then like as you do more and more, it like kind of gets funkier and funkier, and the world kind of starts degrading. And then he's like, I'm Dr. Whatever, and I don't know where you are. Please stop.
Yeah. It was very like portal like vibes. Like not the actual puzzles themselves, but like there's a world hidden behind the world that you're stuck in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm Dr. Whatever, and I don't know where you are, so please come back to where you're supposed to be. Because you kind of wander off the sets.
Yeah, because
they're like sets. Literal sets.
Yeah,
it's very cool.
Yeah.
And it ended up, the ending really nailed it.
I don't remember the ending, if I'm being honest.
It was this really nice message about like challenging your perspective and like being okay with changing your perspective. And I just really loved it. It was like this nice, I'm just obsessed with short, satisfying games. I don't like, you know what I mean? It's just,
I know what you mean.
It's so good, and I just love it these days. Like I want good short games. I just want a good short game.
After this, I'll have to look up. There's one that I was thinking of that was super cute. This one was on Game Pass, but I don't know if it still is because I played it a while ago. And it was like street signs. It was like a puzzle game with street signs, and you like walked. You were like one of the little humans that like walks through the street, like, you know.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, and you are in the signs itself, and you're like making your way through these puzzle environments on these 2D spaces.
Yeah.
It was really, really fun. I'll look up the name of that one, and that one was really short.
Okay.
But I really like that one. I'm trying to think, I don't know, I'll think through some, but those have been my staple for a long time, is I really like short puzzle games. They're just kind of like delightful. You knock them out.
Yeah.
They're a nice, just little package experience.
Totally. And
usually they're pretty tight because they're so short.
Yeah. And like the message was super nice, like at the end, and they like actually like landed the plane. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I feel like it's so hard to end a thing.
Yeah.
And so I just really appreciate a good ending. And I think that this one just nailed the ending. And I really liked it. I just super enjoyed it. So
it's
very
called
much recommend.
The Pedestrian. That's what I'm thinking of. You should do that one next. That one was pretty fun.
I'll do that one next.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you for listening to our podcast. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe and rate it. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Baddy Breakdowns, and visit our website, baddybreakdowns.com, made by Bridget. The podcast art was done by Tanisha Vernikar, and the podcast was edited by me, and I also made the music. Join us next time, but not me, actually.
Me?
Because I'm going on a hike that I'm wondering why I signed up for.
I don't know why you signed up for it.
No, I do. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's just going to be a really long-ass hike. I signed up for a hike through Wales. So I will not be here for the next episode. So it's going to be Bridget and either Chris or just herself.
Yeah, or a solo ep.
Maybe like a little solo moment.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Maybe Deathloop, maybe something else. We'll surprise you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe she'll wait for me to come back, and that's also valid.
Yeah.
Whatever you choose.
Well, that is like literally anything, because I didn't do an episode while you were gone. So.
No, I'm just saying, like, you can do one. I'm not trying to discourage you. I just mean you don't have to. So
we'll think about it. I am on the very probably like last 2 or 3 hours of Deathloop, because I'm on the final bits and he's already finished it. So that one's probably our highest contender, also because I have so many thoughts, but I don't want to break Chris's little heart doing it, since he says like his favorite game ever, and it's not necessarily my favorite game. It's not bad. Yeah. But we'll see. I don't know.
Interesting.
We'll surprise you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Bye.